President Biden is sitting down today with the leaders of Mexico and Canada to discuss issues particular to North America, topics ranging from the situation at the border to trade and climate change. The event being billed as the Three Amigos Summit. Joining us now is Julia Manchester from The Hill. Good morning, Julia. President Biden just now resuming this annual conversation since it was paused back in 2016 by former President Trump. Is there any love lost between the U.S. and our next door neighbors, or are we just picking up right where we left off?
Well, I think in a way we'll be picking up right where we left off. Remember, Adrienne, during the last time we saw these summits with these three leaders, it was during President Obama's administration. Obviously, the president of Mexico was a different president, but you also had Vice President Biden in the administration at that time. And we know that Vice President Biden and Senator Biden had a lot of foreign policy experience. So this is really a time and an opportunity for Joe Biden to show off that experience and show off his contacts, really, with the North American leaders. However, there are definitely still tensions that exist, especially with a tax credit that's included in that Build Back Better spending plan that would be given to Americans to buy American cars. Canada isn't too happy about that. And there's a lot of tension with Republicans and President Biden over the issue with the border and undocumented migrants coming over the border. So there's going to be a lot of tension, I think, on all three sides. However, we do know that progress has been made. These three leaders met virtually back in March, so we'll have to see how this in-person summit goes.
Well, and really, they're the second and third largest trading partners to the U.S. We've talked about that on our show, about the cost of maybe having a rift between these two countries. But they're both taking issue. Mexico and Canada are taking issue with President's push to buy American. I mean, I even feel funny even saying that out loud. Most countries would have a desire for people to buy products made in their own home country. Obviously, they're going to have a combination of trade, imports, and exports. But part of his Build Back Better plan actually offers tax incentives, for example, for U.S. companies to produce electric vehicles. So why should Americans care, in one sense, that Mexico and Canada are so upset that we want people to buy American here, or that the President Biden wants us to buy American?
Well, I think a lot of this stems back to that new NAFTA trade agreement. And we've seen that Canada's Foreign Minister, Chrystia Freeland, as well as Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, have argued that this tax credit could be in violation of that agreement. So we know that Trudeau was on Capitol Hill yesterday, as well as other Canadian officials meeting with U.S. officials. So I think there will definitely have to be some needling through that plan to see whether there's some leeway or whether an agreement can be made. But that's where I think that issue originally stems back to. But that creates an issue for Joe Biden because he's trying to get this plan passed through by the end of the year, and he's trying to get this done as quickly as possible without any more changes made to that plan. So it's definitely a bit of a headache for the Biden administration as they try to wrap up the year.
Yeah, wrap up the year, collaborate, keep international tensions low. Thank you so much, Julia, for making sense of some of that. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.